Hello, and welcome back to another SunVox tutorial. My name is Caleb Anderson, and today I'm going to be teaching you some tricks I've found to get your chiptune to sound more authentic in SunVox. So let's get right into it. First off, I just want to say that I think one of the best ways to learn anything is to join the community for that thing. And SunVox has a pretty active community as of right now. They have an official SunVox forum page that you can go check out. I think that's fairly active. I also have a Discord group that you can join if you want. I can answer questions that you have about anything SunVox related there. The links to this will be in the description. Just feel free to ask. If you have any questions regarding this tutorial, post them in the YouTube comments or just email me. My email will be in the description. I'm usually fairly fast at replying. Alright, so what I'm going to teach you in this SunVox tutorial is I'm going to show you how to use the Distortion module to imitate a lower end sound chip, as SunVox generators have pure waveforms, whereas things like the NES and the SNES and other hardware could only be so precise with their waveforms. So we can use the Distortion module to make those sound more genuine. Second, I'll also show you a simple echo effect technique. And lastly, I'll show you how to change the sound of your square wave using the duty cycle. Now, if you don't know what the duty cycle is, it's fine. I'll show you in this tutorial. So with that said, let's get right into it. Alright, so here I am in SunVox. I've just got a generator right here, and it's a triangle. I'll go ahead and play this little demo I made right here. I mean, it doesn't sound bad, but it doesn't really sound 8-bit. And so we can, of course, improve this by using the Distortion module. So, in SunVox, there's a really simple way to do this. We just use the Distortion module. Route that up. And all we do is turn the bit depth down. Now, I've found that at about 5, with this triangle, sounds pretty much exactly like an NES triangle. So as you can see, you can hear like little weird overtone sort of things with it, and that is more to how the original NES triangle wave sounded. Actually, you can actually see it a little in this distortion. Maybe we can zoom in a little more. Yeah. So you can see that this this wave is really straight, really perfect looking. But as you can see, now that we've distorted it down, it's kind of blocky looking now. So that is the effect that we're looking for. And that is one way to improve the triangle, and also other waveforms that are triangle-esque, such as the saw waveform. Now the saw waveform, as far as I know, wasn't in the original NES, but it's not used as prevalently as the square and the triangle waveform. And I also would like to note that this basically doesn't affect the square waveform at all. You pretty much don't need to do it, as far as I can hear at least. So just those are some things to note. But yeah, so want your chiptune to sound more authentic, go ahead and route it through Distortion module and bring the bit depth down. Alright, so now onto the echo effect that I mentioned earlier. So this is just a very basic technique, and I'm not talking about the echo effect as in the echo module, but more as like a technique and just you can do really quickly, and you don't have to use an echo module, and in my opinion you can be a little more precise with it. Anyway, so I've switched over to a new demo that I've made, and you might recognize the melody. Alright, so that's a pretty good melody there. But, you know, it feels kind of lonely out there. And we want some echo to come with it. It'll sound a little more just kind of filled in with the echo. And this is pretty easy to do. So all we have to do is, well, we actually have a couple options here to do this technique. You'll notice that I have polyphony on 1, so there's only one channel for this module. The technique we're going to show just involves Control-T, Control-C, copying the track, and pasting it over, and just inserting it down a couple steps, and reducing the volume. Now, the way this melody is, it actually might work quite well with only one polyphony. As you can see, there's only 2 places where there's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there's 5 places where the polyphony will interfere. But let's just see what it sounds like and see. Alright, so obviously that didn't really work out, and the reason is, of course, that we only have 1 polyphony. Now, you can solve this just by changing it to 2. I personally think this works, depending on what you're doing. It kind of changes the sound of the song a little, though, because there isn't that single channel sound that we're so used to hearing. So I don't like this option personally. And this echo might be a little too loud. I mean, we could change this down to 1 or something. Or it might have too much delay. You can mess with it. You can, you know, move it around a little with the insert or backspace. But anyway, I prefer to do this, though. I prefer just to copy the generator, connect it up like that, and we can change the color of it a little so it can distinguish. Alright, sometimes I'll even name it Echo, like this. And all we do is just change this to the Echo module. And this, I think, is the most authentic sounding echo for chiptune. Because this is actually this is actually a real chiptune technique that chiptune artists use with programs like Family Tracker and stuff to get these effects. So let's see. Polyphony to 1. Alright, let's see what it sounds like. So there you go. There's the simple echo technique. And let's go ahead and move on to the last thing I'll show you, which is just the duty cycle right here. Alright, so we're pretty much nearing the close of the tutorial because the duty cycle is actually pretty simple to explain. There's a couple things I'd like to note with it is, as far as I know, the square waveform is the only waveform that is affected by this. I could be wrong. I haven't really messed with some of the other waveforms. So, all we're going to do is, well, let's go ahead and delete the echo thing right now. We're going to play this melody again, and I'm just going to move the duty cycle around as it plays, and you'll be able to hear the way it changes the sound. Alright, so let's bring it back to 11. So as you could hear, as we brought it down more, it kind of got more, I don't know if the word is like a nasally sound more, just like a more higher feeling sound. But generally the sound feels bigger when we're in the middle of the duty cycle. And it seems to feel smaller as we get closer to the edge. And as you see, So that kind of hurts my ears. But yeah, you get the point. The sound kind of just gets smaller. And that's actually kind of what's happening to the waveform. So the duty cycle is, as far as I know, is just how long the waveform stays up compared to down. So if we look actually on here, you'll notice that with it lower, the bottom, the waveform being at the bottom is shorter time, and then it goes right back to long again on top. And that changes the way it sounds. Anyway, so we'll just talk about some use cases with this. So some use cases for this is obviously just to change the sound. You don't want the listener to become, you don't want the sound to become just kind of boring, because it will over time, because there's not much variation. So of course you can use the duty cycle to, it's almost like changing the instrument. Bring it down halfway, and that sounds like a completely different instrument than this. So there you go. There's one use case for it, and I'm sure with your imagination that you could figure out some other use cases for it. I'm sure they use it for sound effects and all that stuff. So yeah, I feel like there's a lot of untapped potential with the duty cycle. So that's the last thing I'm going to show you in this tutorial. Now I encourage you to use these techniques I've shown you to make a song. I don't care how short it is, just make a song with it, and I actually want you to post your song. Post it to YouTube. I don't care if you post the link to your song in the comments of this tutorial, even. YouTube will probably flag it as spam, but I'll just unflag all the ones that aren't, I'll just unflag all of it. But yeah, I encourage you to make something out of this and share it. I encourage you to do this within 2 days, really challenge yourself. And I think you can learn some stuff from this, and you might be surprised what you can come up with. And I'm excited to hear what you guys will come up with. That's it for this tutorial. I'd just like to say thank you for watching to the end of this tutorial. If you liked the video, go ahead and like, comment, or subscribe, and I'll see you in the next tutorial.